Are you ready to truly discover what drives a person to commit a crime and then confess to it? In this episode of True Crime, the truth emerged only through the confessions of the murderers, demonstrating how dark the human mind can be. The investigators realized they had it completely wrong when their prime suspect ended up revealing the shocking truth in the search for a missing girl. Sam was interested in her, and so were other guys, but they found out she had a boyfriend. One April afternoon in 2016, 17-year-old Ashley left her home in Illinois with her boyfriend for an interview and a basketball game, saying she'd be back before 10:30 p.m. Ashley didn't return that night, so her terrified parents called the police, who immediately got to work. Indeed, shortly after, officers found her boyfriend's car abandoned with two outfits inside, one for the interview and one for the game. Considering all the evidence, boyfriend Jeremy was now the prime suspect and was arrested for questioning. Recently, he reported there haven't been any significant problems or tough times for her. However, there was a past experience involving an abortion, which occurred before December. Despite that, she seemed to handle it relatively well, without falling into a period of depression. According to Jeremy, she is currently doing much better. They usually see each other once a day, indicating a serious relationship of almost 2 years, which began in July. He expresses trust in her, stating he would be surprised if she were hiding anything, including marijuana in her room or debts related to drugs. Additionally, he denies knowing anyone by the name of Misha when asked by the investigator. During the interrogation, a name pops up that Jeremy has never heard before, and his surprise is evident. This would be one of the many men in Ashley's life he knows nothing about, but there's one that rings a bell to Jeremy. Sam, a 27-year-old guy.
Do you suspect anything between Sam and Ashley?
No. I couldn't see it. I mean, I trust them both too much. I mean, I trust her so much more than him, because it's my girlfriend. I don't think he would ever do anything to harm her, It's just, it doesn't seem like it's his nature.
Well, what about if, possibly not even harming, but what about if they were to, if they were an item or something like that? Would you suspect that at all?
No.
Do you know any friends that she might be with that good friends that she would hang out with, that she would go to their house or anything like that?
When Jeremy said Ashley went out of town to play basketball, the investigators wondered what could have driven her to travel so far when there were basketball courts closer to her home. It turned out the reason was Sam, and Jeremy had absolutely no idea what was going on between them. Suddenly, the police had a new suspect, Sam, the classic good guy who played sports and taught kids at a school far from their town. Even talking to the girl's family, investigators found nothing interesting that could suggest a disappearance. Ashley's family was ordinary. Her mom took care of her and her little sister, and her dad loved them both dearly. After pressing Jeremy for nearly an hour, it became clear to the investigators that he had nothing to do with his girlfriend's disappearance. His 27-year-old basketball buddy, Sam, was a teacher at a rival school, and his number was found in Ashley's phone. They found out they made a lot of phone calls to each other. So this time, he was brought in to be questioned in a story we've all heard before. Sam started claiming the relationship was just a friendship and nothing more. However, when confronted with the testimony of Ashley's friends, Sam changed his version of events.
I will say this, we never kissed. We never kissed. Yes, we did have sex in the back of the vehicle there.
Sam changed his story several times during the interrogation, and it was becoming clear to the investigators that he knew more than he was letting on about Ashley's disappearance.
Please, she's still out there, Sam. She is. And where's it at?
Sam was visibly shaken during the interrogation, and the investigators knew he wasn't telling the whole truth. Those detectives spent 12 hours in a tense atmosphere to get Sam to confess, but in the end, he gave in, admitting to being responsible for Ashley's disappearance. With a cold voice and eyes devoid of remorse, he told the police he grabbed the girl by the neck during an argument. Then he decided to simulate a strangulation, choking her again until she was lifeless. When he left the crime scene, Sam was convinced that after 30 hours, Ashley would already be deceased. He even led the police to the place where her body presumably lay. But by some stroke of luck, or perhaps divine intervention, Ashley was found still alive, albeit in agony. The following weeks were agonizing for her, trapped in a coma that seemed irreversible. And when she finally opened her eyes, her mind was a maze of terror and confusion as the psychological wounds were much deeper than the physical scars. Ashley was brave despite her young age. She faced the monster who had tried to kill her, testifying against him in court. And she lived long enough to see Sam sentenced to 20 years in prison for his attempted murder.